Hi Vibrant Souls, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is a Vibrant Soul Tarot and I'm super excited and grateful that you are joining me today. Today's pick a card reading is a subscriber requested topic. We are going to be looking at the rest of your 2025. And the subscriber actually requested a charm casting reading, which I was so excited about. These are quite literally one of my favorite ways to do a reading. They're one of my favorite forms of divination. If you are unfamiliar with the charm casting readings, when you pick your pile, I will explain a little bit about how it goes and what we're going to be doing, okay? So thank you to the subscriber. Their username in my goddess era for requesting this reading. I just want to explain a little bit about the reading as well. So this is just going to be all about the rest of your 2025. So we're going to be looking at predictions, just any messages that may come up. I'm kind of going to flow with these messages and see where they lead, see what's happening as well. We're going to be looking at like highlighted areas for you. And because it is already 2025 and we're doing the rest of your 2025, feel free to watch this whenever in 2025. It doesn't really matter if it's like in the beginning, the middle, maybe even the end, whenever you come across this reading or whenever you feel drawn to it, or maybe if you save it for later and check it out later in the year of 2025 too. It's really up to you, okay? Just as long as it's in the year of 2025. That's really like the only rule for this. So with that being said, we are going to be doing the pile selections now. As you can see, there are no piles, but we are going to be doing a literal pick a card for you, which is also kind of fun too. And I wanted to pick the cards on deck or on camera, at least for you, just because we're going to be looking at the theme of the rest of your 2025. That is what this card is going to represent for you guys. So we're going to have 3 piles here. So Spirit, what is the theme for the rest of pile 1's 2025? What is the theme for pile 2's 2025? And for pile 3, the rest of their 2025, what is the theme for that, Spirit? Okay, so that is the piles, the cards for the piles. If you want to use crystals as well, if that helps you, I do have a little bit of crystals here, or stones, to help you decide. So for pile 1, we're going to be using this red banded agate. For pile number 2, we're going to be using this piece of green aventurine. And for pile number 3, we're going to be using this piece of amethyst. So I can't wait to see what's in store for you for the rest of your 2025. Feel free to pick whatever pile you feel most called to, most drawn to. If your intuition is telling you maybe there's 2 piles in here for you, you can check it out as well. Just trust yourself. Maybe there's different things happening. Maybe you have a lot of things happening in the rest of your 2025. Who knows? But when you do have your pile selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below for your convenience. And along with any other additional information, feel free to check the description box. If you're wondering the names of any of the decks that are going to be used, that will be in the description box as well. I like to post a little channeled song to each pile. It's kind of just like an addition. Okay, that's cool. My dog just completely tried to knock over everything to get through. Oh, my dog says hi for all of you that are longtime subscribers of the channel and knows that he likes to make his appearance in each reading, whether it's bumping the camera, it's snoring, or he just wants some attention. So I guess he's just saying hi to you guys. Anyways, what were we even talking about now? Oh yeah, the description box. Any information, if you have any questions or information that you're looking for, feel free to check the description box as well. If you don't see your question answered, or if you don't see the information you're looking for, just feel free to comment it. I will try my very best to get back to you guys in a timely manner. But until then, I'm excited for your charm casting reading on the rest of your 2025. So I will see you guys there. Bye. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this card or the red banded agate stone, welcome. So today we are looking at the rest of your 2025. What's it going to entail? What do you need to know about it? Predictions, messages, all that kind of stuff, hopefully through the charms and the charm casting reading. If you are unfamiliar with the charm casting readings, this is basically it. We have a wheel with different sections of your life that represent different things, different aspects, and so on and so forth. And then we have the charms. So we are going to intuitively read them, where they fall, how they fall, what the messages are behind them, and all of that in regards to your 2025. So I'm excited. Let's see what the card is that you got. So the card is going to represent the theme for the rest of your 2025. And the card that you got is the Fox, number 44, with almost there. So there's a sense of something coming to a completion in your 2025 with this card. There's also a sense of something that maybe some of you guys have been trying to achieve, maybe yearning for, or this could just be your destiny path all in all. Like, it does feel like this is showing that you are on the right path, and any obstacles or challenges you may face throughout this 2025 are just bringing you the wisdom that you need to when you actually receive these things, to when you actually get to where you want to be. And also the almost there is saying that you probably aren't a lot further than you feel like it. So any sort of setbacks or any sort of challenges in your life right now, Spirit is saying that your resilience is needed to keep going, okay? That you are going to achieve the things that you want to achieve. You're going to attract the things that you want to attract, or bring in or create that life that you want to create. Time, is a factor here as well. But I also am hearing that there's a tremendous amount of wisdom, again, through the things that you are going through the challenges, through the hard times, through the different seasons, and all of that kind of stuff as well. Like, all of this isn't for no reason, is what I'm hearing. So you are on the road to success, whatever that success looks like to you, or on the road to achieving, or on the road to just being where you really want to be. And that's okay. And I feel like this is also a sign to not give up on certain things, to keep going, that you're drawn to certain things as well for a reason. So whether that's changes in your life, mentally, physically, these are certain actual physical things that you're drawn to, like a career or whatever it is for you in particular. Spirit's kind of saying that those things that you're drawn to are for a reason as well. So keep up, keep at it. Just know that hard times don't last forever as well. Obstacles don't last forever. And I think that especially with this here, like the ups and the downs are just a part of the process. So embrace them. And I think that there's also a message in here as well too, is when you look at these challenges that we go through in life, when we look at the obstacles that we're faced with in life, instead of looking at it through the eyes of like, these things are meant to defeat me, I'm never going to have this, it's never going to happen for me, kind of look at it as in like, this is a natural part of a process. Like, if you want something, or if you want to create the changes, or if you want to, have the life that you want to live, obstacles and challenges are a natural process of anything that is worth having. And so embracing these, almost kind of like opening up to it a little bit, and knowing that you are gaining so much from this as well. And so, like, for example, if you have something that you've been chasing, or you have something that you've been wanting or desiring, Spirit may have put you a little bit through the ringer, or in your life, in general, you may have had to go through certain ups and downs in order to be able to get this in the right way, to hold on to it in the right way, or at least to have wisdom under your belt to when you're able to get this, you're able to keep it and flourish it and take care of it. And this could just be in general, for your life as well. Like, the position that you're going to be in your future, you had to go through past things and stuff like that. But almost there means that you're almost there. Like, not too much now. Which I think is almost like a sigh of relief too. Sometimes we're like, how much longer do we have to keep going? Is this even for me? Is this even gonna happen? Am I going to be in this place forever? Spirit saying, no, you're not going to be in that place forever. Like, you are almost there. I feel like there's big changes for you as well, Pile 1. And I think that the rest of your 2025 has to do with those changes and stuff. So speaking of the rest of your 2025, let's go ahead and get the charms and see what the messages are for you. So Spirit, if you could please tune me into my Pile 1's collective energy. If you can please show me in Pile 1 the rest of their 2025, what they need to know, what is happening for them, and all that kind of juicy good stuff, please, with the most clarity possible. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. So the rest of your 2025... Okay, I'm already getting some messages, but I want to look at the highlighted areas. So the highlighted areas for the rest of your 2025 is pretty cool. We have abundance, money, home, and we have some stuff in luck as well. And this makes me think that there's things that you're gonna achieve. Even if it's not in the rest of the 2025, like, there's definitely things in regards to your money, your finances, and whatever it is that you are creating or manifesting, whether that's intentionally or unintentionally. There's a lot around there, especially in the luck too. I'm hearing like, believe in your good luck, and you may feel like, you know, you have a stroke of luck in the rest of your 2025, which is really good. We're gonna look to see what those are. But let's talk about, this is the first one that is calling me. Like, immediately I was drawn to this right here, and it is an outside element here, and this is an obsidian, which is a form of protection as well. It absorbs negative energy and things like that. And the fact that it's over the begin, well, it's kind of like right here on the begin in your work, it makes me think that Spirit wants you to embrace the knowledge of you being protected. If you are starting something new, or if you are trying to achieve the things in your work as well, you know that these are divinely guided, divinely protected, and that you are protected from outside forces. Okay, so this could also be indicative to the message of, like, if you feel certain things, then maybe to look within, because it feels like on the outside, Spirit has your back no matter what is actually happening. So if you feel like there's things that aren't going your way, then again, that could just be about the obstacles that we all face, that we're talking about too, and the challenges, but also knowing that you are protected and knowing that you are guided along this journey, because there is something that is very divinely guided here for you in regards to your path, in regards to your destiny, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the next one we're going to go to, we're going to see what this luck is. So the charm and the luck is, we have blessed. How ironic that the blessed charm falls in luck. And I think that this is a message as well for some of you for the rest of your 2025, to believe in your good luck, believe that you are blessed, count your blessings as well, and you may just have a ton of blessings that are coming to you, and it may feel like a stroke of luck, and Spirit saying that you deserve that. Like, it's not luck, you do deserve the blessings that you have, that you are a very blessed individual. I think that you're blessed with more things than sometimes we even like to look at. And what I mean by that is, Spirit's kind of directing me to the message of, like, you're blessed to have the tools that you have, to have the skills that you have, to have the abilities that you have. That there is something that I think other people may even look at you sometimes too and think, wow, this person's really blessed, or wow, this person's really lucky. But you know better than anyone what you go through, and you know, in your mind, and how you feel and things like that. So of course that could sometimes be a little insulting, but Spirit's here to remind you that it doesn't really matter what other people see. It's the fact that you are tremendously blessed, and to believe in that, to believe in your good luck, to go forth in the world and know that you are divinely guided, divinely protected, and you have lots of blessings coming to you. This could also be in the form, again, of the predictions for 2025. It looks like the things that you're wanting are within reach. And I think that this can tie into the almost there message as well for you. Like those blessings are coming. You are almost there. And so we also have this little unicorn outside of the abundance too, which again, I feel like a lot of this is tied into the belief. So you may be facing challenges through the rest of your 2025 surrounding your beliefs, surrounding what you feel is possible for you, what you actually believe in, what can actually happen for you. Because again, this is kind of outside this realm here, and it's right above the abundance. And it makes me think that sometimes it's hard to believe in things that we can't see. Sometimes it's hard to believe in things that, you know, most people tell us aren't possible or that we can't have. Like some people will say unicorns, you know, are just a fictional creation, that are not real, and that you're silly to believe in these silly little childish things. But you, however, I feel like have a different perspective of like, you know, you're capable and you can believe in the things that you want. And even if you're not quite able to see them, that doesn't mean that they're not there and stuff. And so I think that this is like, again, believing in that magic as well. We also have a crescent moon in this abundance too. There are things that are happening that you can't see as well. There's a mystery to this energy with the moon. And we also have the little pretty kitty, which is right here. It has its back. And I think that this is also a sign of confidence too. In your 2025, you could be focusing more on your confidence and your abilities to create these things. And this could also be, I call it the pretty kitty because it's just obviously really pretty and cute. And so with that being said, it makes me think that, you know, you have the ability to transform yourself. Also, if you want some sort of glow up as well in your looks in the 2025, if you're working towards that, there's abundance of that you can do as well. And when we think of abundance, we usually just think of money and things like that. But abundance, the definition of abundance is just a lot of something. Okay, it's an abundance of whatever resource, or an abundance of this, abundance of that. And so it feels like whatever it is that you're trying to cultivate, this is going to be one of your main themes, is your abundance mindset as well, what you believe in, what you're able to do and stuff. And with the moon here, it kind of makes me think too, there's something about your intuition leading you towards this. Don't be afraid to lean into those. Don't be afraid to follow that inkling. Don't be afraid to embrace the uncertainty and embrace the unknown, because that's right where all of those great things are happening. When you get outside of your comfort zone, when you face your fears, when you have that self-worth, that self-confidence to keep going. And Spirit saying on the other side of that is a tremendous amount of abundance of whatever it is that you're looking for, you know. And I think that also the moon represents the nighttime. And so with that being said, there could be a shift in seasons for you during the rest of your 2025. So like whether there's a sense of clarity coming later, or you're just being guided to follow your intuition without it 100% making sense, because at night it's dark, we can't really see. And you have to believe in the things that you're not quite able to see right now. And I think that a huge theme for your 2025 is to keep going and to keep achieving, because whether these things are coming to you by the end of 2025 or not, this is the year of that belief. This is that year of you going towards those things. This is the year of you following that intuition, you know, and you overcoming these things as well. So now, speaking of that, moving on to create, we have the little lock here. What is the message with the lock here? Like your creations are on lock, like on lockdown as well. And it may feel like sometimes we're locked away from things, or it may feel like the more we try to create something, if we're not seeing the results and stuff like that, it feels like there's also a need of like, okay, so Spirit's saying that these things will be unlocked the further you go. So it's kind of more, I feel like that's kind of tied in again to this message of almost there, of like, when you get to certain steps, when you get to certain places, you have certain keys and you unlock certain abilities and you unlock certain things. And your power to create is obviously limitless, but there's also things that you're learning. There's things that you're overcoming. There's things that you're growing. And Spirit is also saying to protect the things that you are trying to create right now too. They need your protection. Keep them on lock. You don't have to tell everyone everything. It's important for you to make sure that you are, like, locked doors, obviously, like when you're sleeping in your house, you're going to lock your door for protection, you know, and stuff like that. So make sure that you have these things protected. And that can also be about you taking the action and protecting them from, you know, maybe your own mind or outer things, like, again, other people's opinions as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'm also hearing too, like, your creations are yours and yours alone. And it is important that you do protect them. And it is important that you protect your heart with that as well. But also know too that things will be opened when the time comes. Like, almost like each step you receive a different key. And then you get further along, you receive a different key. You're unlocking, it's almost like it's like a video game. Now that I think about it, it's almost like a video game, right? Like, you can't just skip to level 10. Like, you go through level 1, then you unlock level 2, then level 3, and then level 4. So the more you just go, the more things will open up to you, and so on and so forth. And you'll be able to unlock each step, each way. And obviously you get more things the more you go and the more you unlock. So we're gonna go to money. It feels like money and whether it's your work or not, but it feels like money is a big theme for you for the rest of your 2025 as well. So we're going to see what this one says. Enough. That's interesting. So we have enough in the money. So your goal is, I think, for a lot of you is like wanting to make enough money to get by. Like, I think that a lot of you too, like, it's not that you're like greedy or anything. Like, you just want to have a comfortable life. Like, you just want to have enough money to be able to support yourself, support your loved ones, have financial freedom and things like that. And so this is something to focus on in the rest of your 2025. I think that this is also saying that this is possible as well. And if you feel like there's never enough money, that's also a theme too. Like, look at what's kind of mirroring back to you for the rest of your 2025 and when you're watching this, and know that it's possible to make enough money. And I think that this is also about the things that you're creating. And again, we have more, like, you know, you are really blessed that there is so much abundance. And even if you're not even quite able to see it right now, because we have these things about having to believe it, trust me that you're on the way to creating enough money and enough resources. And Spirit's also saying, remember that there is enough money for you in this world, that there is enough resources, no matter what the outer makes it seem like, no matter what the world makes it seem like. The world, especially in certain societies, they benefit off lack mindset. And so if you are someone who either has struggled or is trying to create to make more money, I do believe that, again, you're almost there. Of course, the challenges are a part of the way, but just remember and look at what you're gaining through this. What is this showing you? What are you releasing? What are you learning? And sometimes it's just having to feel certain things. It's having to go through certain things and knowing, but just remember that things don't last forever and that you will receive what you want to receive, and you will be able to create what you want to create. Oh, another thing too, it's kind of like the first message as well, is with, okay, sorry. It's like your creations are divinely protected as well too with this lock here. Like, no one's going to take them from you, no one's going to steal them, and no one is fully, or nothing is fully going to stop you as well. And so, and I think that you're unlocking more creative abilities, and you're unlocking new mindsets that are going to open up doors for you in regards to what you believe you can create and what you felt like before was not possible. And all of this is surrounding your money. So Spirit wants you to have enough money. Spirit wants you to focus on that, because if that's something that's important to you, it is important to Spirit as well. And it is something that is divinely guided here. And we have this cute little bow in the home. So your home life is something that is highlighted as well too. Bows make me think of presents, but it also makes me think of decorating as well. Tying up any loose knots in the home as well. And it feels like, for some reason, bringing in a sense of harmony in your home life is something that is going to be happening for you in the rest of your 2025. For some of you, if you are moving, this is a good sign too. Like if you're looking for a new home, this is a good sign that eventually that is going to happen. And remember that home is where the heart is, and that there's also gifts as well. So if you live with your family, or even if you live with yourself, just making it a sanctuary for you, a place where you feel safe. I know this sounds kind of like random, but if you felt like, you know, cleaning your home, redecorating your home, this is something that is going to help you tremendously in your 2025 as well. If you like to look at pretty things, or if you just want to make your home look prettier, that's something for you to do or to look into. But just remember, if you are spending a lot of time at home, to make it look nice or to make it feel nice and presentable for yourself, because that's a form of self-love too. If you feel like as well with it just makes me think of like the bow always makes me think of like beauty and frilly things and stuff. And so that's that message. But also, if again, that more specific, if you've been looking for a home or moving a home, there is something that is going to be presented to you around that too. Any more messages here for pile 1 in their 2025, Spirit? Ooh, okay, so we have the cross, which is and the cross is in home, money, and health. And so I think that this is about having faith, and this is about, oh my gosh, we have oh, sorry, I don't mean to let go, but we also have the, what is this called? The axe in the begin and the work. And so I think that this is about things beginning for you, but also it makes me think of like chopping wood. And so Spirit's like, don't be afraid to put in that work, that extra work that you need to for yourself in any aspect here, and have faith. And I like that it's almost, the cross is almost kind of in the center, which I like to think of the center as the self. And so your faith in yourself is something that is going to be boosting your actions. You know, like a lot of the times our actions are definitely driven by what we actually believe. If there's somebody that believes in themselves, or at least in the process or trying to believe in themselves, they're most likely to take more action towards something than someone who's not, right? And so it just feels like beliefs are so important to take care of your health in the rest of your 2025, and from so on. So, I mean, and from then on is something that's really important too, because you may have a history of specific health problems with this tree of life. It makes me think of like family tree as well. So if you have a family or family members with existing health conditions, make sure that you are make sure that you're taking care of yourself in that aspect too. Okay. And also checking in on your family members as well is something to look into for the rest of your 2025. But I believe this is mainly about you, and about like sometimes we have certain things that are passed down to us and it's not fair, and sometimes healing certain ancestral wounds can help us open up to and release certain health problems too. But just make sure that you're taking care of yourself in that aspect too. So we also have the train here, which is right on the line between home and romance. So there could be, again, you could be moving or wanting to move. This is something that may be presented to you when it's time, if that's the case with your home. But with the train here, it makes me think that there's the train specifically being on the tracks and it going on a certain path. I think that these paths may line up, like the things that you want, the things that you're driven towards. Even the train is facing downwards towards the self as well too, and towards the cross too. So have faith that these things, that you're on the path for that. You know, it's not like you're going to completely fall off, like the train's not going to leave the path and go on a certain other way, even if it feels like that for some of you as well, but you are steadily going. So just trust yourself, trust where you're led, and trust the path ahead for you. So I think that is pretty much it for this portion, of course. The next thing I just want to do is I want to get a message for you from your spirit guides in a specific deck, and I want to read it out of the book. But I'm also like watching these charms like a hawk just to make sure there's nothing else. Any other messages for the rest of Pile 1's 2025, Spirit? It doesn't seem like it. Also with this tree of life as well too, there's a message in regards to taking care of your health, which some of you may be already doing that. That just means, again, you're like on the right path. And if not, if it's something that you've been feeling like, you know, just maybe focusing more on that, or maybe more on holistic remedies for certain things, that could be really good as well. But I was gonna say, it's the message was never mind. Sorry. Usually if there's messages that completely disappear from my mind, it usually means it's not relevant. So we're just going with the flow here as well. And if there's anything that happens in regards to your work, like if you had like a specific like 9-to-5 job, but this is specifically for certain people and things like that, know that you, and like it maybe there's something that happens, like if you get fired or if you decide to quit or something like that, it could feel frustrating, but just know that these things are divinely guided. Yeah, and for a lot of you in your 2025, like the beginning, like new projects or things like that have to do with your work, or anything in regards to your work that you've been wanting to do, wanting to pursue, or maybe even wanting to chop, like cut off. It's time to take action on that for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's get one more card. So I want a message from your spirit guides, Pile 1, that we're going to read from the guidebook. So what is the message here from Pile 1 spirit guides in regards to your 2025? Bottom of the deck, we have celebration. So we have decisions, higher self, and we have retrieval with the runner guides. We have the number 11 here as well. Also the number 44 and the number 52 here. I kind of feel like I'm already getting these messages, but I want to see what the guidebook has to say for you. So we have decisions. You are now or will soon face many choices and may not be sure what to do. Leave or stay in a job, terminate or recommit to a relationship, stop or continue a creative project, go to work or stay at home with the kids. Life presents everyone with an endless stream of choices, and figuring out what's best is never simple. Fortunately, your higher self is here to help you make the best choice among so many. Your divine self will guide you if you're willing to drop some of the balls you presently juggle. The key is identifying what you care about right now rather than caring for the needs of others. Focus on your priorities and don't let yourself be overwhelmed or sidetracked by the demands and expectations of those around you. This doesn't mean abandoning your responsibilities to those in real need of care, such as small children or vulnerable others who depend on you. It means being fully centered in self-care and refraining from over-caretaking competent adults who are responsible for themselves. You aren't abandoning anyone by doing this. Your higher self simply reminds you not to abandon yourself. Put yourself first right now. It's the best thing to do. And the message from your higher self is don't try to be all things to all people. Take care of yourself now. I feel as though too, like there is something in regards to that message with this train, like right down the middle as well. It feels like what's happening is where you're meant to be going, like how we were kind of thinking like the train goes on the tracks and it guides you. So just feel free. And you know what's interesting is we were literally talking about that it's facing the direction of the self, like the center of the reading and stuff. And so if all else fails in romance or your home life, if you feel pulled or, you know, and things like that, again, that sounds so perfect, right? Choose things that's best for yourself. And that's not always selfish, right? That's something that we have to do. And it's important for us to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and that we are giving ourselves what we need, because it is our lives. And I do think too that if you feel like you need to let go, and of course if you have the privilege and stuff, or you feel like there's things you need to reassess in your work life or your home life and things like that, Spirit is saying that with, you know, the choices that you feel like you want to make the most, those are the choices that are going to be divinely guided from your higher self. And the last message is retrieval. I might pass it. Interesting, because I was thinking with the number 11, justice, and justice is one of the words here as well. So your runner guides are here to help you recover what you've lost, whether it is keys, your purse, your wallet, or your way. Ask your runners to reconnect you to your path and help you recoup all that is important to you. Whether it may be physical or spiritual, your momentum will increase and you will return to the flow and abundance. The universe is getting your attention by having you lose things. You are being asked to slow down and regroup. This is not punishment, nor have you done anything wrong. It is, however, an energetic intervention to intercept you before you go too far off course and to realign you with your true nature and needs. Ask your runners to retrieve your lost objects, lost money, and lost time, and to help even if you've lost your way. Soon all will come back to you. Your losses are temporary. Nothing important is permanently gone. Your runner guide's message to you: slow down and simplify. You're attached to too many unnecessary things and people, and it's bogging you down. Let go. What truly belongs to you will quickly return. Oh, this is really good as well. Oh, and you know what? In your charm box, I just was so drawn to this tree as well, too, which could also represent growth, too. So I think that there's a lot about you either uprooting and planting your roots firmly in an area that suits your growth the best. And that can also just be internal as well. But this is important too, just to know that the things that you've lost, they will be returned to you. And I liked how it's saying, like, ask for lost money, ask for lost things or lost time as well. And your guides want to help you kind of recuperate, readjust, reassess. So this could be about what the rest of your 2025 is definitely entailing. Things that aren't working, or things that aren't happening for you, or things that you feel like you don't have enough of, or things that you want more of. And all of these things are themes, and they're mirroring and showing you what you're capable of and what your goals are going to be and what decisions to make from here on forth, from this 2025 and further along, you know. And your decisions right now, I think, are very important, but it's good to practice recentering and reassessing and revising and realizing what it is that you truly want, where your energy is best suited, where it's not, what needs to go, what needs to come. And I think the abundance mindset theme that we've been looking at this whole time, that seems to be, you had a lot of things in there, so that seems to be a big theme. So abundance and letting go hand in hand, right? Because the abundance mindset is that whatever I let go of, whatever is taken from me, whatever I lose, there's more for me to gain. There's always more, whether it's something else, something different, something better, it doesn't matter, but there's always something more to have, something more to achieve, something more to get, something more to attract. And I think that this is a big theme for the rest of your 2025, especially if you're going through the process of letting go or releasing or reassessing. Just know that there's always more for you. And that's kind of reminds me of the theme that we were looking at already, was, you know, the mindset of abundance, especially in a world that feeds off of our scarcity mindsets, you know, that tells us that there's not enough, so we work harder, that tells us that we can't have this, so we hold on to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're definitely in this process of readjusting that and opening up to bigger possibilities after and through the rest of your 2025. Yes, it may come with challenges. Yes, you may have to go through things. Yes, you may have to face yourself and face certain things in different ways. And that's okay. It's a part of the process, because again, it's showing that you are almost there and you're gaining these things to get there. And it's all of this, every step of the way is just as important as the destination. Okay. So I love this for you. And I love that message too. That's so perfect with the train, right? Like the train, literally, like it looks like it's on this track. Like the way that it landed so perfectly on this line. And it's like, and it's going right back to the self, right back to the center. That is so cool. I love that. And so if all else fails, come back to the self, come back to your true nature, what you truly want, and things like that, okay? Don't be afraid to tell people no. Don't be afraid to cut people off. Don't be afraid to readjust. Hey, you don't be afraid to rethink that and start over. And also, there's a message coming from Spirit as well for you, that your ideas are just as important as anyone else's. Okay, your voice matters. The things that you want are just as important as what anyone else wants around you, or what other people in this world want too. Okay, so remember that. And I think that there's a celebration, of course, at the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming. And look, we have the crescent moon, the same crescent moon, and the abundance here, and the star too. That's a synchronicity for the celebration here as well, and it's in the abundance. Love that. Love that for you. Okay, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading for the rest of your 2025. It feels like this was more of like things to focus on, things to do. Also, you know personally what these things actually mean towards you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys got something out of it, or I hope it helped in any sense of the word, or maybe if you were just entertained, who knows. But again, I want to show my appreciation for all of you who like the videos, who comment, who listen, who subscribe, all of that. It's so amazing, and I couldn't do it without you, and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you and all of that amazing stuff. So without further ado, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading about the rest of your 2025. What do you need to know about it? What's happening for you? What's going on? What's the message? All of that kind of stuff is what we're going to be focusing on for you in this reading. So if you chose the green aventurine stone, or if you chose this card, welcome. So if you are unfamiliar with the charm casting readings, this is the map that we use, and basically we just pull the charms, see where they land, and intuitively discuss what is happening here. So it's pretty simple. It will, obviously, you'll see as we go along if you are unfamiliar, but I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for being here. However you chose this pile, I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and see what the card is that you chose in the beginning of the intro. So the card for you for the rest of your 2025, this is the theme for the rest of your 2025, is the turtle with small steps, big accomplishments. It's also the number 8. Okay. There's a lot of messages coming through here already. So, I mean, the obvious message here is that slow and steady wins the race. All of the things, this is actually a very promising card for things that you're trying to achieve, or steps that you're trying to take, or wherever you're trying to get in life. It does require a bit of patience though. It does require you to not try to rush through and try to achieve things or get there all at one time. It says that your best efforts are best suited with methodical, thought out slow moving steps. And there's nothing wrong with that as well, because I think that for some of you, the reason why this is something of like getting there slowly but surely is because this could also be whether you're creating something that is going to be very long lasting, or an achievement that you're going to have a very solid foundation for, or it's just the changes in your life, you know, that these are going to be taken with you for the rest of your life, you know, the tools, the things, the growth as well. I'm really drawn to the number 8 as well. Even before I started this reading, I was hearing Saturn for some reason. So Saturn could be influencing you, but I'm also thinking of that the message from Saturn is that we do have to put in hard work for things, but Saturn also rewards all of that effort and all of those hard works as well. So you have big rewards coming to you for the efforts that you are planting, for the seeds that you're planting, the efforts that you're putting in. Like I said, this is a very promising card. And I'm also drawn to the fact that there's the world and the turtle here. It makes me think that this is a bigger picture type of energy. So for your 2025, the thing is to not look at what's happening right now, every step of the way, to remember the bigger picture of things, the whole plan here, I guess you could say as well. 8 is also the number of karma too. It's kind of that infinity sign, and it's like what you put out comes back to you. So trust that your efforts are seen, trust that the things that you are working towards, or even if it's just in this life in general, the changes that you're making, that they are seen, and the things that you're doing will grow and come back to you. But I think that, yeah, one of the main messages here is to have patience with yourself and have patience and trust in the process of life for the rest of your 2025 and probably on further too, okay? But I do want to remind you again, because some of you may be like, ugh, more time, oh, taking time, oh, having to put more work. I do want to remind you that, again, this is a very promising card, though. This is saying that the things that you're trying to achieve or the steps that you're taking, you know, will be rewarded. The things will happen for you just in a matter of time. But make sure that you aren't rushing towards the finish line, things like that, that this is all a part of the process. And patience is key, and patience is a virtue for here, too. So with that being said, we'll go back to that and see if it ties into any of the messages here. Let's go ahead and get the charms to see the rest of your 2025. So Spirit, what is the rest of Pile 2's 2025? What does it entail here, please? No way, we have freaking Saturn coming out. Okay, so a big theme for you is your home life. And maybe even it seems like romance too. So for some of you, it could be matters of the heart, because the home is also associated with the heart, but maybe your romance and your home life go hand in hand. We'll see a little bit too. The other major themes here seem to be family. We have a little bit for money, health, and spirit kind of right on the line. And then we have the ego here. Oh, and work. Duh, we can't forget work. So let's take a look. But yeah, the home seems to be a big theme for you for the rest of your 2025. So we should start there. So we have You Are My Sunshine. We have, we have themes as well. Some of you may be moving in with somebody, like a lover as well, but you don't have to be. That could just be for a small group of people. Oh, I'm also hearing too, for the rest of your 2025, there could be a theme about like who you invite into your home, because your home is your sacred space and also your heart as well. So making sure you're using your discernment, and also if you're feeling love and guided to invite someone into your home, maybe you're getting closer with somebody. It could also be platonic. It could be your family, and it could be a lover too, since we're kind of like right on the line of romance too. And also there's a message here of like, if you feel called to for the rest of your 2025, I don't know what year we were going into there, but if for the rest of your 2025, like romanticizing your home or romanticizing your life, or wherever you spend most of your time, you know, making sure that it's making you feel good, and it's helping you as well. So like with whether that's removing clutter or redecorating. This was actually a theme in pile 1 too as well, but like basically if you spend a lot of time like staring at the walls in your house or staring at stuff in your house or doing stuff, making sure that it's stuff that you want to stare at or it feels good to you or and things like that. But yeah, we have a bunch of like this is like the soulmate type of energy here. So maybe for some of you, you could be like meeting a soulmate in the rest of your 2025, or you could be bonding more with a person, a friend, loved ones as well. This is just a very beautiful heart energy. This could also be like mothering, because there's the bigger heart and the little heart. So this could be about you and your mother, or getting closer, or maybe even mothering yourself too. Mothering yourself is something that is very important as well. So this did come as a little saying. It says, a sister is someone to dream, cry, sing, and laugh with. Okay, so it could be literal, like a literal sister, but this could be about you bonding more with your siblings as well. But it could be, and also a friend, like if you have a best friend, this is about you and you kind of your relationship for the rest of your 2025. Maybe you have somebody to lean on, maybe you're meeting somebody to lean on here, or you're just getting closer with a specific person as well, making sure that they're giving you what you're needing. And it seems like something very beautiful here, to say the least. For some of you, you could be like moving in with your siblings, or you could be moving in with a family member, since it is home and stuff. And this is a very nurturing time and bonding time for a specific relationship in your life. The next one we have in the home is we have the Star. So there's a lot of healing happening in your home as well, and also having faith. If you've been wanting to move out of a specific home, or you've been wanting to change a certain address, or whatever it is, the Spirit saying that your faith is definitely needed. But also there's this beautiful like healing rejuvenation energy. So if you've been trying to get a new home, this is like saying to keep the faith. That in the Star can also be like a wish fulfillment too, like wishing upon a star. And I have to say, there's another message here too about someone in your 2025 that's a part of your star family, that's a part of your soul family or your soul tribe, that is someone that is going to be there for you to rely on. And if you feel like that is somebody in your family, or you feel like that is somebody that you have, Spirit is saying to nurture that relationship, because it could be very helpful and very important to you, and someone that you can cry with and laugh with. And also for some of you too, since it is facing its half on the romance, you could be in the process of manifesting a soulmate in that department as well. Or you could be in the process of meeting somebody in that department as well. Someone that, you can dream, cry, sing, laugh with, all of those good things. If you've been wanting to bond with somebody, or you've been wanting to attract somebody to have those memories with, to have that relationship with. I feel like with the Star, Spirit is saying to keep your heart open in the rest of your 2025, and that you could, and to have faith that is possible for you, to say the least. There's so much stuff here about beautiful relationships, bondings, and soulmates and things. So maybe keeping your heart open in regards to, because we're talking about home, home is where the heart is, and the home of your vessel is your heart. Green, heart chakra. But yeah, keeping your heart open in regards to this energy is something that is important for you, because it is attracting as well. So you may have to make in the realm of your work, this could also be creative projects, because this is the Scissors. You could be working on something creative. Spirit, in the rest of your 2025, this is that green light to say yes, do that. Also, if you need to make cutting certain things out of your work life, whatever that is, if you need to, like whether you go home from work, cutting the cords to that, cutting the cords to past jobs, or whatever you need to do to kind of to cut cords for certain things in regards to this, so you feel better in your life. You may be cutting ties with the workplace as well in your 2025, or the rest of your 2025, and that could be something that is divinely guided or meant to happen, since it's coming through for you in this reading. Now, this isn't a message to say, oh, go quit that job right now. I think that this is something that's going to happen for you along your path if it's meant to. For some of you, this is a creative project, and working on it because I'm kind of picturing like somebody like cutting like papers or construction paper, like kind of artsy things. It doesn't have to be literal. That's more metaphorical for that sense. But working on your projects, working on the things that you are creating for the rest of your 2025 is something that is very important that you are being guided to do. And if you also feel like you are being guided to cut ties or need to cut ties in the rest of your 2025 with a specific workplace, with a job, or even just the cords, that's something that's going to be happening and divinely guided for you as well too. Okay. Another message here with the ego, we have this little sailor. I don't know what this is actually called. I know that there's a name for it, but it's the thing on the boats that, like the pirate ships and stuff that you steer. Okay, so be aware of who's in control here, the self or your ego. If you find yourself limiting yourself because of fears, or you maybe only want things because you want certain types of like recognition and things like that, just be aware. The ego can be very sneaky, okay? And it's not that the ego is necessarily bad, but just make sure that you are the one that is steering most of the time. The ego is, a part of ourselves, especially in this world, and we need it. And it is what technically separates us, okay? But if it becomes inflated or if it becomes too much, then sometimes it can make decisions for us that we don't necessarily want. And I think for some of you as well, it's not letting your ego hold you back. So like, because I'm picturing the song. The reason why I said picturing, because I'm picturing, for some reason, like the music video, which I haven't seen the music video in forever, but the song by Incubus, Drive, and there's a specific lyric in there that says, notice how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer. And that's actually very telling too. We literally have the wheel here. And so what is steering you? Okay. And so making sure that you're keeping this energy in check of like, well, I want these things for a reason, or I'm going in this direction for a reason. And the ego will tell us, well, we don't know what direction that is. The ego will tell us, well, it's unsafe. The ego will try to keep us in our comfort zone a lot of the time too, which is just a natural part of the process. But as long as you're keeping it in check and you're realizing when it's steering, when it's not, coming back to your true self and reminding yourself that you are in control and that you have great things in this life and the rest of your 2025, okay? So you don't need to be limited by whether that's outside pressures or limited by old beliefs or limited by fears and all of that thing as well, okay? Just acknowledging it is like 90% of it, to be honest. Just acknowledging it. Okay, so, we have the little bike here in the family, and we also have Saturn. So maybe there's things around family for the rest of your 2025 where you kind of felt like there were restrictions, whether or not maybe you had a strict family growing up. Maybe there was things that you're learning from your family, like passed on beliefs. And with the bike here, I feel like this is about things getting smoother. So I feel like with the rest of your 2025, I think that, as long as you're determined on a certain outcome, or maybe you feel like if you have to restrict yourself from your family, or maybe keep a little bit of distance from some people, or go easy on others, it just seems like your family is a big theme. And there could be things, influencing, like outer influences, like planetary influences and things like that, whether that's exactly aspecting your birth chart personally, so you can look into that as well. Maybe there's some things about your family's birth charts to look into as well that can have you have a bigger understanding as well. For some of you too, if you've been like wanting maybe a bigger family, like you've been wanting to grow your family, Saturn may restrict that energy at this time. It may say now's not the time, and the bike is saying that maybe you're not getting there as fast as you want to, or if you have like ideas of a family, this is kind of saying the rest of your 2025 that you may not get there exactly at the time that you want, but there you are slowly moving to that. Actually, hey, small steps and big accomplishments as well. So that's a message for some of you if you've been wanting to like expand your family and stuff. But it does feel like that things are going to maybe get smoother eventually. Although Saturn can come as like challenges, this could also be in the message of like anything that's like happening with your family can also be in the form of growth in the form of learning. And when you are embracing that energy, and the further you get on, the smoother it's going to be here, okay? So it does feel like intuitively you're kind of releasing a lot of things that maybe your family in the past had cast upon you, or like I said, if you had like a strict or restrictive family, it kind of feels like sometimes we carry those things with us. One of the things that could also be like if you had like really strict parents, or you had a really controlling family, or we can even go to the opposite end of the spectrum as well, and that affects you differently, but the one that I'm talking about could manifest as like maybe feeling like you're always doing something wrong, or feeling like you're always in trouble, or carrying this sense of fear with you, and so maybe like realizing where you've restricted yourself due to like ancestral things or past family stuff, it can help you along this journey as well. One of the things that could be is just reminding yourself again that you're not in trouble, that you are in charge and stuff. And then also there could be in the opposite end of that spectrum that we were talking about as well too, is if you feel like you didn't have the support or no one did care, you know, that could manifest differently as well. So just maybe like seeing like where your family can tie into this and along this journey. If you feel the need to get closer to your family, that could be something as well. It's going to be different for every single one of you, but with the Saturn being here, and we were kind of seeing that it does feel like you are taking the steps necessary and you are in the right direction. It just feels like maybe it's not as happening for you as fast as you would like, or as, and also, okay, I'm also getting another message, which is really interesting, and it is kind of out there in regards to this energy, but I'm also feeling the family as the 10 of Pentacles card. So in the 10 of Pentacles, that's the future, right? That's our stability. That's where we feel like we've made it, and we've had all of the things accumulated, and where we're able to even have a family, or you grow old. In the card, it's usually depicted as a family and stuff, but they're pretty well off. And Spirit saying that you are towards that direction, you are going towards that direction. The bike maybe could also be coming through to say, because it's not a car, right? It's not a jet. It's not a plane, but you're on the bike, okay? That you are getting those steps, and you are on the way to this future, okay? And you will look back one day and thank yourself for this and stuff, but just trust the process. And what do we have here? So we have this little star one. That's kind of cool. And it says miracles. Oh, and it's right here between like health in the Spirit as well. And so Spirit is saying for the rest of your 2025 and probably on, believe in miracles, and that things are going to be shifting for you as well. There's also, Spirit's also kind of saying that there's little miracles throughout the day. Miracles don't always have to be these big grand gestures, or these things that like these big grand changes that are happening in your life and stuff, although they can be, and that is really cool, right? Of course we want that, but for the most part, I think that there's little miracles that we kind of take for granted every day, and just know that miracles are happening for you, that you're able to, attract certain miracles, and it's just kind of like a natural part of your being, because you are Spirit, in human form, and miracles are something that occur naturally in your life as well. So believe in that, believe that Spirit has your back, and that you are quite literally a miracle. You are a miracle in human form, like we were talking about. Another thing too with health, if you have health problems as well, I'm not saying that you things may miraculously start to get better all at once, but you can start to see improvements. I am feeling maybe for the rest of your 2025 for certain things, like maybe it just gets a little easier, it gets a little better as well, or maybe you do start to heal. But there's also a message here too that one of the miracles in life is our health. So make sure that you're not taking your health for granted. Health quite literally is wealth in my eyes, because it's something that it's just something that is such a blessing to have, and sometimes not everyone has that as well. So make sure that you're grateful for those things too, and you're using your health in your advantage, and you're taking care of it as well, because you're able to change too in ways that you would like. So believing in that is something that's important. But also, again, your Spirit wants you to believe in the miracles, and believe that you're capable, and believe in serendipitous types of things happening for you in your 2025. So That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's another little star here too, and we have the star. So we have the star in your home, and what we were saying, having faith in all of these beautiful things happening, and healing. And then we have the star in the middle of the miracle card too, or the miracle charm. So maybe there's something tied into that as well. Like, again, faith and beliefs, whether that's for your new home or for your home to get better, or even if it's like, since we were talking about, it's right on the border of the romance too. So all of those things that you've maybe been wishing for, wanting, it seems like you're capable of manifesting these things. And the small steps to big accomplishments may suggest that, you know, not all at once for the rest of your 2025, but you're well on the way and it is happening for you. So again, bigger picture, zooming out and seeing the bigger picture of this. And that could also represent moving beyond the rest of your 2025 and realizing that, especially if you're like making amazing changes for your life, or you're trying to accomplish or do great things in your life, or whatever it is, the things that you want, if you want these things to stick and last for your whole life, kind of like that 10 of Pentacles energy as well, you know, it will take small steps and changes and mindset shifts and things like that you're going to be taking with you longer than the rest of the 2025. And this is the one that I wanted to save for last, because we have the snake in the money. Oh, so funny how it landed actually right back in the work. It literally slipped through my fingers and landed right back in the work. You're in the process of transforming your money situation greatly. Okay, this is a great omen for your finances, for your money. This could also be in regards to shedding old beliefs. You know, the snake that sheds its skin and becomes anew once you get rid of the old, and you're in the process of transformation here, which is amazing. So transformation in regards to your money is a huge theme, and it has to do with your work and your creative endeavors and the things that you are working on as well. Again, make the necessary cuts. Like, if it's worth too much energy, if it's not working, or if it's not worth it, don't be afraid to cut certain things out, and don't be afraid to start over, especially in regards of like projects and things like that you're doing. But yes, your money and your finances are going to be transforming, I'm hearing, throughout the rest of your 2025. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. Make sure that you are putting things away. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do in regards to this, because it may take some work, as we just saw, but just because it takes some work doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just because it takes some work doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. And all of these things, you know, that our ego can kind of make us believe, right? Like, oh, we face this challenge, oh, that must mean that we're on the wrong path, or we ran into a huge obstacle, that must mean that we're not capable and it's not for us, and blah blah blah. Spirit saying that's, again, redirect that energy, because that's not true. Okay, obstacles are a natural part of a process, especially if you are achieving things, or if you're on the road to success, whatever that means to you. Just reminding yourself that obstacles and challenges are a natural process of anything that's worth having, right? It's not you're not only you're not the only one that faces certain obstacles and challenges. Okay, getting over them and getting through them is the important part, because that's where your true transformation lies. I just picked up this starfish. Don't be afraid to let go of certain things that you need to. And I'm really drawn now to the cactus here. So the starfish can represent divine love. Again, more stars. Oh, I just realized more stars as well. But also, the starfish can come as a reminder too of that sometimes we tend to latch on to things. And so being more open to the flow for the rest of your 2025 is a message here too. Being open to the flow. You don't have to hold on to things that maybe aren't for you anymore, or, you know, stay in one place. You don't have to stay in one place, one way of being, or one mindset, because that's the past version of yourself. That's what you were used to in the past. Like, kind of letting go and kind of unsuctioning from that rock. That's the picture that I'm getting with this. Unsuctioning from that rock and letting the current take you where you need to go. Realizing that you have the resources within you to get through anything, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much work. You know, the cactus reminds us that we are resilient, we are sustainable, and we have the resources, like the water inside the cactus that helps it stay alive during the hard times, during the hard summers, and all of that heat as well. You have that in whatever journey that you are venturing here too, because again, the theme is that these things are going to be accomplished, you know, small steps, big accomplishments. The more you go little by little, the more you accumulate little by little, you're going to look back like that 10 of Pentacles and one day and see, oh, dang, I did all of it. But it took those small steps. It took that patience. It took that energy of keeping on, keep going and stuff. So yeah. Oh, okay. So that is the charm portion for the rest of your 2025. Now we're going to be getting a message from your guides, your spirit guides, and we're going to be reading it from the book to see what the message is for the rest of your 2025. So what is the message for Pile 2's spirit guide spirit for the rest of their 2025? What do they need to know? What does their spirit guides want them to know for the rest of their 2025? I just heard make it happen, Captain. I love that. You're making it, you're gonna make it happen, Captain. Your spirit guides are saying, like, let's go. Let's do it. Okay. We'll just pick a card for you. Maybe taking control as well, too. Taking control or taking action. Sometimes when I feel like there's a message in that. If I'm waiting so long for a card to kind of fall out, and then it's like, no, I need to choose the card. I need to take control and I need to choose the card. You get what I'm saying? And so that can also be a message for you within itself for your 2025, is like you taking that action, you deciding, you doing what's best. It's in your hands. Ooh, we have limitation with the nature spirit, number 44. 4 plus 4 is 8 as well, too, in numerology. Although you usually don't reduce master numbers, but in this case. Also, number 44 came out in pile 1. So if you felt drawn to pile 1, and I actually did see a lot of similarities in these messages here, too, which is very interesting. Oh, and another message, too, the number 4 is the 4th chakra, is the heart chakra as well. And there's something there about you being your own sunshine and too. And those things, like the romance and the things that there's a lot of healing in regards to that. Almost like you becoming your own best friend in the rest of your 2025. And you being a relying source for your own love too, which I think is really cute. But let's read what the message is for you. Oh, look, we have teacher guides with growth. So you're learning a lot of lessons as well, too. And this is also from the nature spirits, too. So for the rest of your 2025, if you feel called to, if you can, connecting with the nature spirits, connecting with nature. There's tons and tons and tons of different types of nature spirits. You can even consider the elemental spirits to be nature spirits, and those are usually big guiding spirits that we see in our lives as well. But let's see what the message is here. I'm grabbing it right now for you guys. So the keywords are unfamiliar, arrogance, humility, and availability. So seek guidance from those who have gone before you. The road you are navigating has been traveled by others who know the way better than you. So ask for advice. They can show you how to proceed because they are familiar with your challenges and can share their wisdom. Ask for direction rather than fumbling in the dark, trying to figure things out and losing your way. Which, you know what, that was also something that I was seeing too. Like, we have this and the bike with the family, and it could just be those who have came before you, that it does kind of look like, I was thinking that too. I was like, this looks like a guiding light, but I was like almost like the moon or something, you know? And then you're traveling on here. So you can, and also this could also be a time to connect or reconnect to your ancestors and your star family too. They could be very, very, very helpful along your spiritual path and your spiritual journey, because your ancestors have lived a human life, you know? They're definitely they're definitely spirits that have a tremendous amount of wisdom, and also they have so much unconditional love and support for you that they just want the best for you. So if you feel called to connecting with your ancestors or your ancestor spirits, this is definitely a huge green light to do that. Okay. So the loving nature, oh wait, where were we at? I'm so sorry. Ask for direction rather than fumbling in the dark, trying to figure things out and losing your way. The loving nature spirits remind you that we have all been beginners at one point, and it is essential to learn from those who know more than we do. There is no shame in not knowing what to do or how to do something. When you find yourself in a brand new situation, the problem comes when we refuse to learn from those with years of experience due to stubbornness or pride. The nature spirits are here to help you take in new information. You are being asked to do either something you don't know how to do or something utterly different from what you usually do. Ask the nature spirits to help you be more flexible and receptive so you can quickly absorb new information and apply it. It will relieve the problem. Your nature spirit message to you is listen and learn from others. They may make it easier for you. This is amazing. This is an amazing message too. It could be like your family, or it could just be like advice along the way. Like if you're starting something, or you're like growing in an element of like where it is kind of new, right? And there's people that are already successful in that. This could also be like taking notes from them, learning learning the ways that they do it. Not saying that you have to be like them, but like there is beauty in that as well. There's actually, I'm hearing a lyric from a song. It's a revolution song, and it's literally about somebody. It's about him, and he's like learning where he belongs in his like creative aspects and things like that. And he talks about how he kind of laid low for a little bit and he learned from the finest techniques. That's the lyric in the song, is like where he said he learned from the finest techniques. And I think that's about his musical talents too. So on that note as well, it's like there's people that do have really good techniques that you are allowed to learn from, and you can even do like your life can be like, in that sense, of trial and error, right? Where this works for you, this doesn't, this helps you, this doesn't. But don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to look deeper. There is nothing wrong with like, especially like those who have come before you. Even if it's, you know, I like ideals, philosophies, all of those sort of things. Even if it's not just one specific thing, you know, like there is a lot of wisdom in this world from places, people, books, all of these things that can definitely benefit you on your journey in the rest of your 2025. So and also this is definitely a message to, like we said, be open to learning. And that can be sometimes where the ego can be tricky. Like the ego wants us to know it all already, wants us to have it all, you know, up here in our noggins and not need anyone else. Or maybe there can be something tied to like our self-esteem of like, oh, if we need help, or oh, if we learned that, then we're not good enough. And Spirit saying like, that's again ego. Remove that and look at it through fresh eyes as well. Like you are learning, you are growing, and it's okay to use whatever resources you feel are best for you, whether that's other people's advice, other people's techniques, what those who have lived before us, the ancient wisdom, you know, all of that kind of stuff. These are all tools to help you. So don't refrain from using these specific tools as well. And there's nothing wrong, like it says, there's nothing wrong with not knowing things. That's one of my biggest pet peeves sometimes too. And I think we all do it at some point, especially if it's something that we feel is like common knowledge and stuff. Like it's natural, but like if someone's like asking, like I see that in like on social media, like in the comments, like if someone's like asking a question about something, then you'll get comments of like shaming them for like not knowing, like, oh, you didn't know that, or you didn't know that was the answer. It's like, no, I didn't. Can we be more helpful and like loving, and can we just educate people when they need to be educated and not shame them from like not having a piece of information? Like that's how we gain all of our information. Always is we learn, whether it's through experience or through trial and error or from a book or anything like that. And so like if someone doesn't have access to the same book that you read, you know, don't shame them for not knowing. You like open up and say, hey, you should know this, or like, hey, like that, no worries, I understand. I was there too. I once didn't know this until I learned. You get what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like looking through the eyes in spirit's sense. It's like the eternal student, right? Releasing the ego and the pride and realizing that we are always learning. We are always growing. We are always developing. We can be in the highest position of a company and still want to learn more. And those are the people that are, quite honestly, the most successful, are the people that are always open, always receptive to learning, to growing, to expanding, that don't limit themselves by saying, oh no, I already know that, just because they feel like they should, or they think that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the people that probably stay kind of in one area, the people that limit themselves. But if you're open to all different types of lessons, information, receptive, researching, anything, you know, anything that, whatever it is, in any aspect, and I mean like any aspect here, you will eventually develop, you will grow, you will expand. Okay, especially expansion too with the world right here as well. So expanding your knowledge, expanding kind of maybe even if that means getting out of your comfort zone. Sometimes that's even through experience as well too, just depending on your situation. But as long as you're open to it, open to learning, growth, and expansion, the world is your oyster. You quite literally can accomplish anything if you're open to it. And so not shaming yourself for making mistakes in your life in the rest of 2025 and on, not shaming yourself for not knowing information that other people probably didn't know at one point in time too. Like we are, like it said, like the card said, we are all beginners at something. We all have to start over. We all have to do, you know, we all go through the process too. So the fact that there are resources around you of people sharing their process can make your process easier. And that's what it's for. That's why, you know, sometimes the universe sends us people or things or information for that exact reason, you know, to help us. So that's sometimes don't let the ego tell you what you're supposed to be or what it's supposed to be, or limit you. I love that. I love that message for you. So yeah, that is the messages for the rest of your 2025. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. Thank you to those who like the videos. Thank you to those who comment. Thank you to those who share your stories. And thank you to those who subscribe. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. So hopefully I will see you there. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading on the rest of your 2025, whether that be messages to hear, predictions, outcomes, whatever it is that the messages are saying is what it's going to be for the rest of your 2025. So I'm glad you are here. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get into it. So if you chose the amethyst, or if you chose this card, that is going to be representing the theme for the rest of your 2025. So let's go ahead and take a look to see what card you chose. We have It's in You with the lion and the number 24. Oh, I like this little heart and this crescent moon here. That's cute. We have the crystals and the little third eye. Interesting. So I feel like the message with this card is about the things, it's recognizing that a lot of the things that we seek are already within us. I know that's something that you probably hear a lot, especially if you hear like a lot of spiritual guidance or maybe watch other readings as well. But the one thing that I think is in particular about this energy for the rest of your 2025 is that you're going to be having a lot of self-realizations. Things are going to come back around for you where you're realizing things about yourself, realizing that you've had what it takes all along, or that everything that you were seeking has been inside you. Now, the thing to remember with this energy is that it did take the outward experiences to show you the things that you needed to see inside too. So it's not like it was all a part of the journey, and it's all along. And I think that there's a self-sufficiency that is coming with this energy of like you being able to rely on your own needs, and give yourself what you need, instead of any type of outward validation or anything that you're seeking from somewhere else outside of you, whether that's a person, the place, the recognition, the love, needing someone else's guidance, all of these other things. I think the theme is coming back to you and realizing that all of that already exists within you. It just, I keep hearing the quote from Rumi, like, what you're seeking is also seeking you too. And so it's just a powerful message of your own inner power, your own inner strength, and your own resilience. And you don't need anyone else to give that to you, which is a very powerful place to be. The lion also reminds me of the strength card, but there's also a message within this card about the journey of the cowardly lion in the Wizard of Oz. Not saying you're cowardly or anything. The whole point of the journey of the cowardly lion was realizing that he had the courage, was realizing that he had, and that's for all of them in the Wizard of Oz too. That's the thing, like the heart, the brain, all of them. Dorothy just wanting to go home, all of the tools they had already, but it did take the journey. It took that journey for them to realize it, or else they wouldn't have known. And I think that there's actually a really important part of your journey that's going to be realized to you within this 2025 or the rest of 2025. And I do want to say that I think that the rest of the 2025 is all about you as well, which is a beautiful energy, and it's a beautiful heart space energy too, especially with all this green. Oh, even like right here too. Interesting. So it's in you, pile 3. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, another message too. You could be focusing on your spiritual abilities, or your intuitive abilities, which is really funny because I wasn't drawn to any of the other stones like intuitively like I am with yours. So the amethyst can represent you and your spiritual connection as well, opening up to that. That could be a theme for you for the rest of 2025, or at least using that, or some sort of wisdom that you have. So let's see what the charms entail. So Spirit, what is happening the rest of 2025 for my pile 3, please? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Oh, a big theme for you is luck. And look at this elephant. It's, I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to move it because I want it to. It's literally inside this ring. These are 2 separate charms, and the elephant is walking through this ring, and it's in this luck, and it was literally like right here too, which makes me think that you are overcoming burdens, because it's coming from burden to the luck. You are overcoming obstacles, and you might literally be walking into a new era for yourself, like a new, completely new cycle. With the elephant here too, it makes me think that you're kind of through the rest of your 2025, you may be in the beginning stages of a completely new experience, a new cycle in your life, and you're closing out any cycles, like cutting any ties or anything like that that you need to do. It's like 1 foot in the other door, and then 1 foot in the new door. And so completing this cycle is something that is important for you in 2025. The elephant can also represent obstacles, like trampling through any sort of obstacles and things like that being removed from you. So you could be like releasing a lot of things that were burdening you through 2025 and stepping into this new era where you feel better, where it's more lucky as well. And so yeah, we have a lot happening in the realm of the luck. Other themes for you are, we have manifest, we have complete, we have abundance, spirit, and health. And look at, we were talking about this, the strength card in the health. We have I choose strength. Anything in the rest of the 2025 that is weighing on you, whether that's fears, uncertainties, doubts, stresses, Spirit is saying that be aware of how those things affect your health and choose and remember your strength. So stand tall, stand proud, and stand strong in the face of any type of adversities that you may face in the rest of your 2025, because that is going to be very helpful for your strength here. And look, actually right here in the Spirit, we also have fearless, and we have Aquarius energy too, coming in the Spirit aspect. And so another thing too about facing these things and realizing that all of these things are in you and all of that stuff that we're talking about, and choosing strength in all of that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't feel fear. Like if you're in the process of changing a lot of things, if you're in the process of letting go, if you're in the process of releasing, or whatever it is that you are going through, and this could just be for advice for you for the rest of your 2025 when things maybe happen, you know, it doesn't mean that you don't feel the fear, but just know that you have the strength to face the fear. That's all that matters, is facing the fear as well. But you are, I think, a lot more capable than sometimes our egos or our minds like to tell us. Like sometimes our anxiety will tell us that we're not, and that's just definitely not true. That you have a tremendous amount of inner strength that is coming forth for you. Okay, so try to call on it when you can, or just remind yourself, because it says, I choose strength. And so it can be, you can choose to lean one way, you can choose to lean into the fear, into the anxiety, into the doubts, into the uncertainty, or you can center yourself, bring your awareness to your choices, and choose strength. And I think that that's really beautiful. And Spirit is saying that that is going to help you with your mental health, and most likely your physical health as well too, because stress is one of the biggest things, or worry and fear is one of the biggest things that can affect us, and health-wise too. So, and also choosing to care more about your health, it could be a theme for your 2025 as well, since it is like choices, like making healthier choices. And that's not always the easiest thing, right? So that does take strength. That does take courage sometimes to say, no, I'm not going to do that because that's bad for me. I'm going to do this. And so in those moments, just calling upon that strength to have what it takes to choose what is best for you is going to be a theme here for the rest of your 2025, making better choices. And that could be, sometimes it's a little hard. Sometimes it's hard to not do the things that we want to do really bad because we know that they're bad for us, but we're like, even if it's certain, like whether it's habits, or it could also be like with certain people like that we know are not good for us. Sometimes we have to choose strength because it's better for our mental health, or it's better for us, or we have to choose eating something that we don't necessarily like want to, when we have maybe other options to indulge, but that's for your own health and your own better too. I'm not saying that you can't. And especially when it comes to that, like that's kind of subjective too. Like you can have obviously things that you want, but maybe if you're trying to have a more balanced life, the strength comes from, you know, making the better choices most of the time, rather than, you can use that for anything, you know, even if it's like choosing to be more productive instead of the comfort zone of just chilling, you know, if you have that and you need to do that. It's all about your choices and being strong and choosing what is best for you, because you have that strength within you. But yeah, Spirit, fearless, and Aquarius, I think Spirit's kind of coming through with this to say, like, if you knew what Spirit knows about your life, about your situation, about what you're capable of, a lot of the fears that you have would probably seem so silly. So ask Spirit for strength too, ask Spirit for guidance, and ask Spirit for wisdom, or to help you release certain fears as well, because your Spirit is one that is fearless. Like I'm also taking this as like you guys have like a fire within you, like in your, like and quite literally, like you could have like the heart of a lion, you know, where And that's like your natural form. And Spirit saying like that is who you naturally are. Don't forget that. Like, don't forget that you are naturally wild, fearless, you know, crazy sometimes Spirit. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, Spirit's like, embrace that part of you. Bring that side out again, because it's going to help you for the rest of your 2025. And it's not, like I said, it's not saying, fearless isn't saying that you don't have fear, you don't experience fear, but you have the strength and the courage to overcome anything that is causing you to doubt yourself, or anything that's causing you to have certain fears and uncertainties, because you are human, of course. Like, that's so natural. Like, it's part of the human experience. And also, with the Aquarius energy, there's something very unique here about this. Also, you're definitely part of a collective energy here that is very important right now in the rest of the 2025. So you overcoming certain things is really helping the collective energy heal. That could be in regards to things that you're doing as well. But for the most part, because I'm like staring at the Aquarius, and then I was like, 11th house. And then I was like, oh, like collective, you know, like collective energy. And you can also call upon the collective as well, the collective strength for you and stuff. Spirit saying that that's normal too. But you have also very uniqueness about you, that it kind of feels like you're overcoming past wounds of shame in this sense. It kind of feels like you're overcoming old beliefs in this sense for the rest of your 2025. Like, anything that you were shamed for, whether it was being different or your ideas, it kind of feels like those things are coming back around for you in 2025. And you're like, actually, those were great ideas. Actually, I was ahead of my time. Actually, they didn't know what they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of feels like this is, again, you have a lot of self-empowering energy for the rest of your 2025 to embrace that, to, like, you could be somebody who was a thinker, and like maybe when you were younger, or maybe even now, like you could have had like ideas or things that you said that most people just maybe didn't understand. And Spirit's kind of coming through to say, you need to, in the rest of this 2025, you're going to be yourself unapologetically, not worry about any of that noise, because there's something important about embracing your uniqueness. This could also be in the form of shadow work as well. The things that we've repressed, the things that we were told were bad about us, the things that we don't want to face or don't want to feel, nurturing that part of you is going to help you grow tremendously. And it's just giving it that love is all you have to do, really, is just acknowledging it, accepting it, bonding with it. It's called nourishing the shadow. All you have to do is just acknowledge it. That's usually all the shadow really wants. It's just some acknowledgement, some love, and things like that. So that could also come in the form of fears as well, or things that we, again, were kind of shamed for. Spirit saying like, you're magnificent. Ooh, I never used that word. But Spirit's like, you're magnificent and a lot more wonderful than sometimes you're able to see right now. And that's why I feel like there's this energy of Spirit's perspective of like, if only you knew, or if only you could see yourself the way that Spirit sees you, if only you knew what you were capable of, the way that Spirit knows you're capable of. In fact, these things I think are going to be shown to you through the rest of your 2025. So embrace that energy. I love that. So we also have something which is very interesting for you in particular. We have one in begin and we have one in complete. It's funny, we have the little wiener dog in the complete. So the first message I want to say is like, you could be completing a cycle of oh, okay, well mine was funnier, but Spirits makes more sense. Mine was, okay, we'll talk about mine. Mine was hilarious, but Spirit is saying the dog days are over. So, and that's interesting. So like through the rest of your 2025, if there's hardships, or maybe if you felt like you were treated like a dog, or you didn't get the respect you deserve, but the dog days are kind of like hard times, but where we kind of feel like we've been brought to our knees and things like that. That is something that is going to be completing for you. And your loyalty to yourself is a part of this too. Your yeah, not abandoning yourself and being loyal to yourself, but you are completing a stage of that, which was really cool. But I was gonna say, mine was like, if anyone is being a weenie to you, if anyone is being a weenie to you, or aggressive or something like that, that was something that was coming through as well, of like, well, don't be afraid to let go of any of that. But that's just because it's a wiener dog. But wiener dogs are so freaking cute. I know that's so off topic, but they are just so cute and they're so funny. So if you have a wiener dog, shout out to you. I love them. Anyways, I can't remember their actual names. It's not important here. but it feels like, yeah, I love that message that Spirit's coming through of the dog days are over. Trust that things are getting better. Trust that things are being completed. And then we go over to the beginning. We have this beautiful flower. You know, I feel like, you know, if that was the case for you, like these dog days, like you planted seeds in your soil, you know, and you are growing, and now things are going to be sprouting for you. Or even if this is you in general, you're becoming and growing that beautiful flower. So maybe there was a period of winter that you kind of had to go through challenges where things had to die and death, rebirth, you know, and releasing things as well. But you're growing, you were watering yourself the whole time. And that's why staying true and staying loyal to yourself for the rest of this 2025 is something that is very important. Also, you could be beginning the stages of growth, or beginning to sprout, or beginning to expand in ways that it's going to help you in your life and in your journey. And also with the beautiful flower too, like you could start to be taking care of yourself more in 2025. That's something that I feel like is a prediction as well. Wanting to look good, wanting to look better, and you're going to be realizing that you are very beautiful, but you're not as delicate as you may seem, like a delicate little flower, you know, like you could be perceived that way from some people, or not, because I'm also thinking that you could also not, but at the same time, there's something very beautiful about like this new era for you, whether it is a sort of glow up in your life, and that could just be energetic, but it took a lot to get there, is what I'm hearing and feeling from this. And so in the 2025, it feels like these things are being completed and you're opening up to new sources, which is really interesting too, because right next to it we have the sun, which we were just talking about, a winter stage, and in the manifest we have the sun here, which kind of makes me think in the flowers, especially in the springtime, and when it's the seasons changing for you, okay, to the rest of your 2025, and you need the sun, and it's gonna feel really good. It's gonna feel warm, and it's going to feel beautiful, and it just feels like you're manifesting joyful experiences. It feels like the sun is coming and you're inviting in this warm new energy, and you are attracting this too. So I think that this is very telling to the energy shift that you are going to be going through for the rest of your 2025 regardless. And this may even be like the 2025 is closing out this way, and now it's like, okay, a new cycle is beginning. And also springtime could be significant as well, because I don't know if it's universal, but the calendar that we use, well, there's different calendars, because there's like the one that I'm referring to in the Western society is stupid. I hate our calendar. It literally goes against everything that the natural process and nature and our natural circadian rhythm and all of these things. Like, it literally goes against all of that. And we begin a new year in the dead of winter, which is why I feel like most people feel like when the new year starts, like it's still like there's still lingering energies. It's the changes that they want to make are a little bit tougher. And then sometimes we notice towards like the end of March or like April, and the astrological new year, you know, Aries season, it feels better, because that's the spring. That's when things are starting to develop and grow. That's when winter's ending. Things are getting warmer. You know, there's regrowth after everything just freaking died in the winter, you know? And if you look at it metaphorically like that, there could be around that time, or maybe even summertime, is important for your manifestations and things like that. So
that could be significant to the rest of your 2025. Or if you're watching this later, maybe looking back to the themes around the spring or the beginning of summer too, and realizing that there's something important here for your manifestations and your growth, okay? Now we have this little clip, which is like a little, it's like a little mini, and they're like little clothes hanger things or clips, or you can use them for whatever. It's kind of coming out here of this manifestation, which now I'm kind of getting a message of like these ideas, these things that you want, or could be leading you towards them, like almost like kind of like dangling something here, clipping. But also this reminds me too of like a vision board as well, making sure that you are remembering the things that you're wanting to manifest, the things that you want. And if this could also be in regards to a sign to create some sort of vision board or something that you can have a reminder for, the reminding force of the things that you want and the things that you're manifesting, or your abilities. Now this could be like sticking on things all over your home, or just where you look the most, or creating something. But there's something here about holding on to this or showing this energy, and it's like where you're being led to, if that makes sense. And it could also be in regards, because this is, I was thinking of like clothes hangers, maybe hanging on to your dreams, hanging on to your aspirations, and maybe even hanging on to that hope as well, that things are manifesting for you. Because I do love that the sun is coming out for you, pile 3, and I think that it's beautiful, probably much needed. But also too, the summertime could be, oh, I said that already, never mind. But the summertime could be very important for your manifestations. Now, okay, I kind of want to save this look for last because we were already kind of talking about it. So we're going to skip it to the abundance. I feel like we have this little ship director. Again, this came up with a different charm in another pile, and I couldn't remember the actual name of it, but the steering thing. And so I feel like with this being in the abundance, this has a lot to do with your choices and the rest of your 2025, and making sure that you're headed in that sort of direction as well. And it can also be just a good omen for you, that's reminded that you are on the road to that. You are on the road to the abundance and things like that. And make sure that you are making the choices and you are headed in the directions of the abundance mindset and not the lack mindset. So something to be aware of for the rest of your 2025. Like if you feel like you need to shift directions, if you feel like you need to go a different way, be open with the flow, and just know that there's so much out there for you. This could be about shifting your abundance mindset. So like if you have been in the process of like letting things go, or overcoming things, or just going through your own stages of growth, anything that is being taken away from you or anything that is being released from you, just know that it will be given back to you in a different form, if you choose to believe so, or at least the belief is the hope, because it will, regardless whether you believe it or not. But you get what I'm saying. And so with that being said, just make sure that you're steering towards those directions, being aware. And then the rest of your 2025, you could be on the road to abundance. That could just be a theme as well. And the abundance of whatever it is that you are looking for, whether that's money, love, abundance of whatever, just know that, it's you're in charge. Like you are the captain, and it starts with your choices here too. And I think that's just something to remember. Now, okay. We already talked about the elephant, which was so cool that it came out like that. And I love how it's literally like stepping into burden, going from burden to luck. This makes me think as well too, in the rest of your 2025, the things that maybe you thought were burdens, or the things that you thought were problems, or the things that you thought weren't working out for you, you're going to start seeing that in a different light. You're going to start seeing, oh, wait, maybe it is good that didn't happen, or maybe it is good that we didn't work out, or that thing didn't happen just yet, because now you're starting to think, oh, well, maybe I'm lucky in that sense. Or like it just feels like there's a perspective shift going from burdens to luck. So the things that aren't working out were actually always working out for you, or the things that you couldn't see, were actually working out for you in that sense too. So we also have forever in the luck, and then we have the spoon, which kind of makes me think too that with the luck too, like maybe some people would see or would think like, oh, this person, they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or oh, they're lucky, and stuff like that. And you know better than anyone that you have your own sense of challenges and things like that. So don't let anyone make you think that you're unworthy for anything because you didn't have to go through certain obstacles in your life and stuff like that, because you did. Okay, that's one of the things too, of like, and also I want to say too, spirits, like, remember the perspective shift that you are very lucky, that you know, that it is good to remember that we do have it good regardless of the situations. Like, yeah, it could be worse, yeah, it could be better, but also, you know, you're blessed in many ways as well too. And even with the spoon here too, like, it could also be, you know, just a reminder that if you're able to eat, if you have a roof over your head, if you have water, you know, to drink or to bathe in, or hot water or anything like that, that sometimes we tend to take for granted. Remember that you are so lucky and blessed to have that as well, regardless of like if you were born with it or not. And with the forever here too, it just makes me think that this is your true nature, you know, like you're forever somebody who is blessed, who is loved. It may seem like luck to other people, but you just know, and it could feel egoic to maybe think that, you know, you're special, but it's not. You are special, and you're special to spirit, and spirit wants you to embrace and believe in your good luck as well. There can also be like, you know, being like the universe is trying to feed you some luck with the spoon. And sometimes, because it kind of makes me think of like a shovel, like digging and stuff like that. So you could be in the process of creating your own luck. And I just can't help but to think that spirit wants to remind you that you are freaking blessed, regardless of like what other people's lives look like or anything like that. Like, you are blessed, and it's good to embrace that energy, and it's good to believe that, and it's good to feel that. And even if you did have to work hard for the things that you want and it looks like luck, it is just embracing the good when it comes to you is something that's really important. And with the forever too, especially with this the elephant crossing through as well. I took it out of its little hula hoop, but it's okay. There's a new cycle. I feel like, again, you're stepping through a cycle of luck like we were talking about, but also this is going to be something that is lasting too. It's also important to embrace these beautiful momentum, or these beautiful feelings of luck in the rest of your 2025, like whenever that happens to you, even if it's just a stroke of luck and things like that, because things do ebb and things do flow. It's a natural part of it's a natural part of life, right? Like, sometimes things go really well and sometimes they don't. But I do think that you're kind of creating something that's long lasting as well. And as long as you kind of have that mindset of like, well, you know, you are somebody who is lucky. Oh my gosh, look at it. Right as I was staring, I was like, my attention was staring here as I was talking, and look at this key with the 4-leaf clover on it. I didn't even realize the whole time I was talking, I was looking at this, and it was like the 4-leaf clover hanging out too. So yeah, you know, you could have a luck stroke as well. So embrace it, enjoy it for the rest of your 2025. Of course, you want this to stay forever. Of course, we want to be lucky and feel good forever. But you know, that's the beauty of the ups and downs, is that when we are down, we really appreciate the ups, and you know, and we know that it'll come back around again. And that's kind of maybe the circle as well too, can also be interpreted as like things come back around. But you are stepping into a new cycle, and it could be in spring, March, because March makes St. Patrick's Day with like the lucky 4-leaf clover, things like that. But it could be, or that could be the beginning of it too. For the rest of your 2025, there's important things happening around those times, so be aware of what's happening or what themes you're seeing and things like that around that time as well. So I love this for you. But yeah, it feels like with the elephant too. Oh, okay. So sorry, the more I read into it, the more messages come. Elephants, that was one of the first things when I was picking up the elephant, was like that message of like, elephants never forget. One of the things with the silver spoon and the burdens and all of that ties into this message of like, even when you are up and you have the stroke of luck or wealth or whatever it is that you're manifesting towards the end of, or towards 2025 and onward, you're not going to forget where you came from. There's a beautiful message of being humble to this because of what it took to get there, because of the obstacles, because of the things and the challenges. And this is a very beautiful energy too. So it's like, yeah, you may be well off, you know, now and stuff like that, or like this is like if this is future energy, but you're still going to remember what it took to get there and all of those beautiful things, which is going to keep you humble, which is going to keep you grateful and happy for it, which is really beautiful. I love that. I really do. So on that note, this is the last part of your reading. We're going to just ask your guides any additional messages. We're going to read this from the guidebook as well too. Any additional messages for the rest of your 2025. So pile 3 spirit guides. Spirit, if you can ask pile 3 spirit guides to come through and relay any messages for them for the rest of their 2025, please and thank you. You know, this kind of looks like a clover too, huh? Interesting. So we have growth with teacher guides. Bottom of the deck, we have boredom with teacher guides as well. So we have the teacher guides coming through strong here. Oh, 23 and 24 as well too, which kind of makes me think the next steps. What's crazy too, I feel like with this teacher guide, well, we're going to read the growth one because that's the one that came out, but I feel like with this boredom here, the 23 and 24, you know, you may have been put in a situation where you've had a lot of time on your hands, or you've had to, whether that's like hermit mode, or it just kind of feels like if you're in a situation where you're kind of discontent with whatever is happening around you, or you want more, that was something that is divinely guided as well. Like basically, like you're put here in this, and you're put in this energy to create the next step. Like it's meaningful, and also your time could be very meaningful as well too. So let's see, what is this 20? Yeah. But yeah, it's like the frustrations that you have with any situation in your life for the rest of your 2025 are the fuel to your fire to create the desired outcomes, or to get you in the position to where you want to be. And look, we were talking about too the growth. That was the first message with the flower as well. It's like you're beginning this new growth, and growth is like expansion too. And again, that elephant going through, like you're stepping in. It's almost like, that kind of reminded me of like a portal, did it not? Like the elephant stepping through the ring literally looked like a portal and going through. So it's like you are, for the rest of your 2025, you are in the process of stepping through. And it may have taken, you know, the discomfort, or it may have taken the irritability, or you just not being where you want to be, in order to motivate you, to push you into that expansion, into that growth, to get you out of your comfort zone too. So that could be like another theme for the rest of your 2025 is like, yes, doing that, but maybe even acknowledging like each step of the way as well was just as important as the end. So we have courage, desire, initiation, and creativity for the growth card. So your teacher guides are igniting your imagination, awakening your creativity, and instilling in you the desire to grow to your full potential. Now is the perfect time for you to push yourself and explore new horizons. Have the courage to stretch, apply for the new position, one level up at work, Volunteer for the leadership role, even though you don't feel fully prepared or qualified. Believe in yourself and act with confidence as you step into more responsible, creative, empowered territory. You are more ready than you realize. Don't hold back. Don't overthink. Don't second guess. Don't play small. Now is the time to think and act big. And your teacher guide's message to you is imagine a bigger, better you. Yes. And so it kind of took this energy for you to step out, and that ties into, you know, choosing strength. It's in you. Like, you have whatever it takes already within you, and you will discover that the more you go along. And then, like, the spirit, the fearlessness, and the Aquarius, oh my gosh, it all makes perfect sense. And manifesting the life that life that you want is very important. I love that for you. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. Okay, sorry. I was like I like to to you it just probably seems like dead silence, but to me I'm like scanning through to make sure. That happens all the time. If I just like scan again, then a new message will come up or something. But I think that's it. I'm not getting that, guys. So I think that's all for you, for your messages for the rest of your 2025. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to those who like the videos, who comment or share or subscribe or just support the channel in any way. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I thank you guys so much, and I do appreciate you. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading, so hopefully I will see you there. Bye.